Our guest this morning is Dr. Duncan Ojwang. He's a lawyer, and we're talking about politics and governance in the country. Now, still on the issue of rule of law, Dr. Ojwang. Alice Muthoni Wahome is the Cabinet Secretary for Water, Irrigation, and Sanitation.
Yeah.
Last Tuesday, she sat in a cabinet meeting, which was also attended by several people. Cleopa Malala, who is the UDA Secretary General. Dr. Monica Juma, who is an advisor on national security. Harriet Chigai, who is an advisor on gender. And who was the fourth one?
Just them. The strangers were just three.
It was just the three?
The three.
Okay.
The stranger of the strangers was Cleopa Malala.
It was those ones, the Cleopa. Now, this same Alice Wahome had in 2021 gone to the High Court to challenge the fact that President Uhuru Kenyatta then had allowed one Major General Badi to sit in a cabinet meeting and said, this is a stranger in cabinet. She said that by appointing the military general, the president allowed a stranger to sit at the country's top decision-making organ, and Ms. Alice Wahome stated that the president had bypassed the constitution in inviting the Major General to the cabinet meetings. Justice Anthony Murima agreed with her and said, you cannot have strangers in cabinet. Now we have three strangers who've been co-opted into cabinet and who will, going forward, be sitting in future cabinet meetings.
Yeah. True that. So where's the question part? I'm waiting for the question back. The contradiction?
The question has put itself out there.
Because, because I read Justice Mrima's ruling on the Wahome case.
Yes.
What the president did is to do an executive order. On this case, there is no executive order. The executive order appointing or establishing that he will be attending cabinet body and committees. Now, the court did not like that because they were saying you are trying to form a government out of the constitution. The constitution is telling you who become a cabinet member and who and how they go through it. They go through parliament, they have a portfolio and all that. You are circumventing that, and now you have brought somebody to sit in the cabinet and the cabinet committees. So this time there were three individuals that took the oath. The part that probably need clarification from the court is this. We know the Article 153 talk of cabinet talking in the cabinet meeting about their docket, being summoned to parliament, very standard, because I'm trying to look at the cabinet role. So whether the membership to cabinet is decided by attendance of the cabinet meeting. Do you become a member of the cabinet by attending a cabinet meeting? If you are not vetted by parliament, and they're not vetted, if you don't have a docket to speak about that parliament can summon you and say, we have summoned the Minister of Health.
Yes.
So are you a cabinet member? Or you are somebody who have attended cabinet but is not a cabinet member.
Okay.
Is that thing what make them the Secrecy Act, or it is them who published it and started being congratulated for being super serious? Because I assume the Constitution does not give a procedure of running a cabinet meeting. It only talk of cabinet members who are cabinet members,
and it defines who the members of cabinet
and their
are.
numbers.
Yes.
But it does not tell the president this is how you should run the cabinet meeting. Is it invisible? And there was that argument that the president can call an expert and all that. But you see, on the issue of the body, he was being
there was a fourth one, Dr. David Ndii.
Yes. He was to be a member. He was to be a member of the committee. So, have they become cabinet members by attending the cabinet meeting?
Are we saying essentially that there's nothing wrong with having other members who are not cabinet members attend meetings? They could be there for special purpose, come to explain 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Are we saying there's nothing wrong with that? Is there an issue with non-cabinet members attending cabinet meetings for special purpose on a regular basis? Because
consuming the information
that cabinet is consuming,
and therefore they need
getting intimate with, because it is on the same grounds that the Alice Wahome case went before Justice Mrema, and Mrema said absolutely not. You cannot attend. What is the difference between
this
that and this?
I think there is a little difference, because that one there was an executive order. And the executive order is a legal instrument. It wasn't informal. This one, they were people just saw them taking the oath of secrecy. But on that one, the president was more proactive.
Who takes the oath of secrecy?
Oath of secrecy, civil servants do. I think almost every civil servant should take the oath of secrecy. And you can imagine, even if you went there to fix the cabinet Wi-Fi as they are in the meeting and help them log in, somehow you'll be hearing a few things that might need you to take the oath of secrecy. So I don't know, and there is that oath of secrecy is not the swearing in of a cabinet, because cabinet is sworn in after Parliament has vetted them.
Sure.
So is the problem the oath? I don't think so. The problem is the attendance. But are we saying you cannot envision a place where somebody who is not a member of cabinet can attend?
Yes, that's what we're saying, essentially. Because what is cabinet? Is cabinet not the selected group of individuals, essentially, who will assist the executive to run matters of the administration? That's what we're saying here. By being in charge of a particular docket.
Yes.
That there are certain ministries, there are certain departments of the execution of government that then have, at the very top level, that responsibility has been given to certain individuals. You, as the CEO of the government, have decided that in these positions, these are the people that I think, whether we're talking about loyalty, or expertise, or competence, whatever criteria you use, you have decided that this is individual. By law, this individual will then go before a vetting committee in Parliament. Parliament will say yes or no. When Parliament says yes, you then give your assent, and these individuals are sworn in.
Yes.
Now, does it then become a walk-in party where anybody you feel on the day can then come in and sit in? So then it should be open season then. Why have a particular cabinet when individuals have been chosen? Then let anybody come.
Should the right question be attending to do what?
This is it. Attending to do what? In what
period?
Capacity are you sitting in on a cabinet meeting or in cabinet proceedings where individuals who have been specifically chosen and then comprehensively vetted and given assent to? Do you now then say, the people that I choose on a particular Tuesday or Thursday afternoon when I'm feeling a certain type of way can then join?
Should the question be then, you attended to do what? Or you attended
as
period?
Who? You attended as
what you
who?
come to do is a separate issue.
It's separate.
Why are you there in the
Why
first
are you
there in
there?
the first place?
As whom have you
What
attended?
exactly are you doing?
And will we see you there with regularity? So who are you? What are you doing there?
Because I'm imagining that if somebody stood here and they're not a guest, they don't have a microphone, then we can say
they're not part of the show.
They're a stranger.
Yeah.
But you can also say they are part of the show as who or whom. But I think that if we clearly know their role, they don't have a docket. Yeah. So they're not going to say, this is my report on help. They cannot be accountable. They don't have the funds and the budget, and they cannot report to Parliament on any of their docket. So then it's just the nuisance, then, according to you, of what are you doing here?
Absolutely.
The order, for example, in the Badi case was against Badi, but it wasn't against Tuju.
Yeah.
Tuju, as a Secretary General of Jubilee, was
gazetted,
a member of the cabinet without portfolio.
Yeah.
But had he followed some due process and procedure in getting there?
And really, what was going on in Badi case? Remember, this is the time that we were very apprehensive that the county function was almost illegally being swallowed by the executive, that the governor was being pushed to the periphery, and the constitution is very clear on devolution and the two levels of government. It was the time that Mbadi was almost larger than life, and it was a trend where the president or the executive was taking the county functions. Now, if this person goes to a meeting with their advisor, I know that the ruling it can be distinguished, the ruling of Justice Mrema, but I also think that it was too broad, that it needs to be recasted, because. I mean, do you imagine that those people in the cabinet, nobody's even serving tea? Serve your own tea. If you have to
there are people who work in the cabinet office.
Come on. There's an office where some of these things have been arranged.
Even minutes of this meeting are taken by people who work in the cabinet office.
Yes.
Of course, the secretary to the cabinet has her staff, right? The secretary to the cabinet has the staff that then comes and takes the minutes, does follow-ups, does reports. If there's any projection to be done, there's a technical person who sets up the projection. And
who probably have taken the secret off.
They must. They wouldn't do it.
The people who prepare the documents that are going to be discussed at the cabinet meeting are people. It's not the ministers who work together and they say, "Sasa iweka hii agenda 1 na hii itakuwa agenda 3." No, of course there are people who do this, but then those are not sitting in cabinet and looking at and in meeting.
They're not part of the meeting.
Yes,
you know, Prof. In our neighboring country, Uganda. The president, Yoweri Museveni, has a different style. He doesn't appoint people to cabinet, people with whom they were in NRM, former ministers. He appoints advisors. As of the last count, I think there were 142. Okay? Now, that's his style. You will find, there are those who will find reason to criticize, to critique, to talk about it. That's his style. Now, are we then saying that we are seeing, given what President Uhuru did, that we are now seeing President Ruto introducing his own style of how it is? He wants to add, subtract, apply, move the government and apply whatever it is he sees fit as we go along.
But ours is prescribed by law, isn't it?
Which
Kenyans didn't like that free styling and winging it.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Now, if the law permitted the president to appoint whoever he wishes to cabinet, we wouldn't be having this discussion. We would know that the law is being followed. The reason why this discussion is being had is because we're wondering.
Where does this sit?
How does this sit?
No, but I mean, if I don't have a docket, and I'm not answerable to Parliament, and I don't have budget for any ministry, am I a minister? And if I'm not a minister, because the president cannot appoint me to be a minister out of the law. That one is, we are all agreeing, isn't it?
Yes.
And he cannot exceed the number. So there's apprehension that is he trying to find a clever way of
expanding the cabinet,
of bringing these people. But if I don't have a budget, if I don't have a docket that I am answerable to, if I didn't go through Parliament, am I a cabinet
minister? No, you are not.
You are not. So then what? So then the question is, why are you there?
Okay.
What are you doing?
Does our law allow you, I don't understand the law, cabinet to have visitors who come in.
Do
from
you
time
are
to time.
amicus curiae? Can you be in
Amicus curiae of cabinet.
Yes, exactly.
Just
No,
because
amicus curiae is a very serious word. Don't.
No, because we Professor, we're
Are you
seeking-
trying to say that the cabinet is not serious?
we are seeking to understand because a precedent has been set.
Yeah, no, Justice Mrima's ruling is very broad. It needs to be clarified because is there any part of the Constitution that advises on the procedure of a cabinet meeting? None.
Okay, sorry. Let me ask you then. Okay, fine. We have advisors. You can even say David Ndii is an advisor on economic issues.
Yep.
You can say that
Harriet is an
Kajuma is
advisor.
an advisor on other national issues. You can say Harriet Shigai is an advisor on gender issues.
Cleophas
Malala.
Is an
He's an
advisor on
advisor
on the political party.
Remember, this is a cabinet, a government formed by UDA. And so he's
And
the
other
Secretary
parties.
General.
And other parties.
And, yeah.
Not only you,
Not only
and
UDA.
other
Other
parties.
parties.
Yeah, well, of course, Kenya Kwanza
Yes.
government.
Yes.
You are
Yes,
right.
it's a coalition.
Yes. I think where the mistake came is I saw congratulation messages to some of them saying congratulations for your appointment to be a CS. That might have brought the wrong message. So there's need for clarification.
Yes.
Yeah, there's need for clarification. Which role will you be comfortable if you get to understand that one, they don't have voting power, that all they do is say, yes, this is our party manifesto. Will that make it better?
Why do you have to do it in cabinet? Go and do it somewhere else.
You know, there
This
was
is
this
what we're saying.
debate, Prof, if you remember correctly, about ministers appearing in parliament.
Yeah.
So was that resolved?
No.
Yeah, they appear.
They come before parliament.
They appear, but Azimio walks out.
Well,
Yeah,
they walked out the
listen.
other day, but not on all of them.
Yes.
They only walked out on the one CS, Moses
Yes.
Kuria,
Yes.
senators.
Oh, okay.
But
You see this-
when
yeah.
Kithure Kindiki has been there,
He's
when
answered these questions. I think
the
what we're
transport
looking at
CS,
here.
Kipchumba Murkomen has
Yeah.
been there, they have not.
Answer
They've sat in.
questions.
Good governance.
Sure, but what are we looking at here is that this kind of action, what precludes anybody then from being invited to cabinet and having discussions willy-nilly about whatever? It could be that the rain came down on a certain part of the country today and somebody was standing in that position and we say, oh, jolly good. How about you attend the cabinet
Witness.
meeting next week on
Come and
Tuesday?
tell us.
Come and tell us how it did,
What's
how
your
it happened when it
experience?
rained. Because that's what we're saying now. And cabinet then, we almost then lose the
The luster.
exactly that cabinet is then supposed to hold in terms of running government. Then anybody can come in. So why have it?
Remember during
Can
if you want to-
anybody attend? You sit on boards, right? And that's why I was
anybody
coming in.
attend?
Yes.
remember
Can
during
anybody attend the Kenya Power Board meeting?
As in, just because I have a problem
For
today,
instance,
and
You know,
come
I
and say,
supply
what,
I
I'm
supply
attending your meeting.
transformers.
Yes.
I supply transformers to Kenya Power. Can you invite me to a board meeting?
No,
Come and
Like no,
That was
Professor,
a conflict of interest.
like you know us. Can you invite us to just attend a meeting? See?
It's okay to say
probably
no.
not. huh?
Okay.
Yes,
But
exactly.
you see, my issue is this.
Yes.
Last year, before President Uhuru left power, how many times did the cabinet sit?
We don't know.
No, we honestly don't know.
So then, this anger and curiosity, you are getting curiouser and curiouser because you have been tuned to such a certain direction. The truth is that not the truth. Maybe
Your opinion, like your problem.
yes, yeah. So let me not say the verily, I tell unto you, and it's just an opinion. But it took a very long time. That's all I know. And the government was moving without cabinet meeting. That remember at some point when it was finally called, people were anticipating the tension between the president and the deputy president.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I think it's an issue of rule of law. Let us be clear. Let their role be clarified. I'm not going to take hostages on this. But at the end of the day, I will not be so afraid because they have no budget. They have no docket to report on.
But the issue here is, it's not about the budget and all. It's the influence. We've sat here, for example, with the advisor on gender, all right? And she does not have a ministerial docket
But it cuts across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has functions that cut across. When she was appointed, when they were appointed, Harriet Chigai and Dr. Monica Juma, the president announced that these are cabinet level appointments.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
It was,
These are cabinet level appointments, but they are not ministers.
Cabinet, yeah.
So everything else is cabinet level, apart from the fact that
You are not a cabinet member.
you are not a cabinet member. So what does that mean? Can the president start with these 4, and then in the next government, another president comes in and has 15? Can you have 15 cabinet level appointments? People who are, everything is cabinet level. They have a driver, like you were saying. They have a salary of cabinet level. They have everything cabinet level, except that they did not swear. They take the constitutional oath of a cabinet minister. They did not go through vetting
And
by
they
parliament.
don't have a ministry.
But they can
don't
even
have a
attend.
budget and ministry.
But they can even be attending those meetings.
The precedent here, you see, what one sometimes is looking for, one may not find, but what one keeps looking for, there may be a pattern. Because you have gone against the norm. So what else are you going to do?
Foot on the door.
Yes. What else are you going to do that will go against the norm? And why? There could be a very good reason, but we don't know what that reason is. Okay? Sometimes these discussions simply help us understand this constitution a little better.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeking to do. The why questions are because we don't understand with clarity how and why this is happening.
True that.
If we understand it, we'll ask different questions.
Or maybe even accept it.
No, not really accept it. Look for it, probably even being
One of those in the room.
Align yourself.
Yes. If that door has been opened and it's clear, say, no, why don't I now just...
All you need to do
Though I
is
know
just-
that the usually cabinet have advisors.
Yeah.
I hope and I assume they are sitting on the capacity of the advisory role. Now that need to be reclarified in terms of what does that mean. But I don't think attending a cabinet meeting at whatever capacity makes you
A cabinet minister.
member.
Okay. It's about the clarification. And like you're saying, Prof, it's important that we get it. But thank you very much for joining us today. Always a pleasure.
Asante sana.
Come again soon.
All right, let's wait for the CAS ruling, how it goes. And I think it's still a beautiful country. Don't you think so?
Oh, it's a wonderful country.
Asante.
Dr. Duncan Ojwang is a lawyer, and he is a man who commentates a lot on what's going on in the country, politics, economics, and governance. Keep it here for more conversations.
This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.